Hello everyone, this is Bhavik Chokshi here. Hope you guys are doing great, studies are going well and your preparations are in full swing. I hope if you're giving the exams, then your Group 1 has gone well and your SCMP paper in Group 2 has also gone well by the time you see this video. So today's video is on the elective paper. So I will give you a few tips in general for the elective paper and then specifically focused on paper 6E, that is a global financial reporting standards, important topics and some tips on preparation. So let's get started. So when we look at global financial reporting standards, to be specific, paper 6E, a few important topics that the institute keeps on asking quite frequently is what I have noted down. So there are two specific things that you have to cover pretty well. First is there are a few specific indices like Index 12, income taxes, a hot institute favorite. Property, plant and equipment, so it sets a base for a lot of standards. So you will get some or the other question on property, plant and equipment. Associates. So a lot of cases I've seen almost every question. There is some question on the application of equity method for joint venture or an associate. So definitely you need to revise this properly. Impairment along with non-current assets held for sale is an important topic. Under the global financial reporting standards, because you're doing some advanced financial reporting, even Index 101, which is first time adoption, which is not as important for your paper 1 financial reporting, assumes some level of importance here. So yes, the first time adoption also has to be done relatively properly. If not, at least go through the study mat, see where each of the topics are. Share-based payment, very important topic, at least a question you will definitely get. Business combination, needless to say, a very important topic, and the all important financial instruments. Your paper is going to be largely loaded with financial instruments. So please do this very well. Consolidation, to be honest, the full-fledged consolidation questions are relatively rare. You don't really get them, and if you do, for an entire 25 marks, they're going to be fairly complex, and hence I mean, a lot of students kind of put a full consolidation question in GFRS as an option, but nevertheless, I would recommend that you can go through this. Specific issues in consolidation are going to be asked as a part of small cases rather than full-fledged consolidation is relatively unlikely. Revenue recognition and leases. Leases has always been, even when in the old standard, which was relatively simplified, the Index 17 standard, Institute loved asking you questions on leases, and with 116 or IFRS 16, I'm pretty sure that you are going to get a good amount of weightage on lease in this attempt, and also the revenue recognition. So even specifically in revenue recognition, the part where you do the appendix on service concessions, that is fairly important. You get fairly detailed questions on service concessions, on toll roads, etc. over here. So these are the topics which I would definitely want you to emphasize on while preparing. Ensure that you do these topics properly, and when I say properly, obviously you would have done this in your FR. If you have taken GFRS from us, you would have done this from our case studies and stuff, but refer even the institute study mat to see which topic is located where. An index, if you have our topics, the index for financial reporting on which topic is covered where is fairly important, because it's an open book exam and there might be certain concepts which is a very granular concept, and you might not have done a full-fledged sum on this, but you know that, well, there is something on this concept lying somewhere in your study material. So you should be very conversant with what topics, at least for these specific indices, where they are located, specific points in the study material. If there is a topic which is very complex and it comes in the exam, you should exactly know where you have to head to. That is an important exercise, and while you are preparing, emphasize your core energy on these topics. Apart from that, in every paper, largely your paper is index driven, but there would be certain questions on IFRS and certain questions on US GAAP as well. IFRS, in my experience, a lot of students are fairly comfortable. The carve-outs, there are a few of them and very logical. You should be reading those carve-outs properly so that you understand the treatment between index and IFRS, otherwise it is exactly the same. US GAAP, what I would recommend is, you don't have to go into the depths of US GAAP. It should not be that while doing US GAAP, you end up forgetting what is there in IFRS or index. So you should glance through the around 40 odd pages which are there of the differences between IFRS and US GAAP. Just glance through it. I'll again repeat, just glance through it. The objective over here is to be absolutely clear on where a particular topic is. When you are reading it, you are actually creating a mind map. You are creating an index in your mind where you are referring to, okay, if this topic on impairment is there in US GAAP, it is located somewhere over here. Impairment is located in US GAAP. Yes, I've seen through it. Maybe I don't know the treatment. I can actually, in my main exams, it is an open book. I can actually refer to that while solving the paper as well. So the mind mapping is extremely important while you are doing the US GAAP preparation. You will get probably 5 to 10 marks on US GAAP, 5 to 10 marks on IFRS. Otherwise, your largely paper is going to be an Ind AS paper only. Even if it is IFRS is exactly the same as Ind AS except for a few carve-outs. So so these are the topics that I would want you to focus on. Again, it's an open book, so you have to study everything. The study plan for FR kind of works for GFR. It's just that FR was for, I think, 5 or 6 days. This is for 2.5 days. And this is after you have already given your group 1 FR, so you can probably easily reduce the timelines that we have given in your paper 1 preparation by 50%, bare minimum, 50 to 60%, whatever time frame we have given in the study plan for financial reporting, at least a 60% reduction in time. So if I take, let's say 1 full day for consolidation, over here I can probably finish it in half a day fairly easily. Okay, so what do we need to refer? Well, we need to refer the wherever you have done the coaching material for financial reporting. The study material for financial reporting has to be carried in the exam. It is fairly helpful. In fact, GFRS does not have a separate set, so you carry that. If you have taken GFRS from us, the entire modules that we have given, you can actually carry them as well. The institute differences between IFRS and Ind AS, which is, I mean, if you're doing it independently, the differences between IFRS and Ind AS, the differences between US GAAP and IFRS, please do carry that and ensure that you don't refer for each and every provision. No matter how tempting it gets, remember your paper might be a 4-hour paper, but a case study based paper is almost always very, very tricky. And as a result, if you start the first case and you keep on referring for do not use your study material for verification. You do not have the time. Trust me, your paper will be more than 30 sides and it will take a long time, and it is almost impossible to do that fully if you keep on referring each and everything. There are 3 things. First, stuff that you know very well, do not use verification. If you know it, solve it and proceed. Do not use your study material to verify. Second, stuff where you are kind of shaky, but you know where exactly in the study material the legal provision is, exactly refer that. Third, you are clueless, then do not go on a witch hunt. Do not try to find a particular topic in the study material. You will be wasting your time. Leave it, proceed. At the end, if there's any time, and I can assure you there will be none, then you can actually go back and refer the study material. Do not do it otherwise. Your paper is very lengthy. This is not just for GFRS, it is across all elective papers, because these are case study based and these are open books. If I give an open book paper with 1 full day to the student, everyone is going to get 100 on 100. So you do not really invest your time in your open book, in reading each and everything. If I were to write the open book exam for at least 70% of my paper, I would ensure as a strategy not to refer the book, no matter how tempting it gets, because, well, you know what, there is some time limitation. So please resist the temptation. If you're confident of a point, just solve it and proceed. If you're shaky and you know exactly where the legal provision is, try to refer the book. That will be around 20 to 30% of the paper, not beyond that. For a stuff which is completely new, you are clueless on whether it is even there in the study material or not, skip it. Do not go on a witch hunt. So just remember these few basic things. Be confident, be vigilant. Remember, you will, it's probably the first time you're writing an open book, and hence it's fairly normal to feel a lot of anxiety and curiosity. Trust me, it is next to impossible. It's next to impossible to fail in this paper unless you're really bad. You have 4 hours, you have the book in front of you. You have 40 marks, which will come as MCQs with no negative marking. Well, you need to be really, really bad if you cannot clear this, right? So, and be very confident, you will definitely clear. It is just that it is open book, and hence it is a little new for you. So do it as if you're solving a normal paper. Be confident while you're reading. Ensure that you do not invest a lot of time in reading the MCQs. It's going to be a very long paper, so just try to filter out that case that you are going to do at the last and the case that you're going to do first, and that is it. Ensure that you study all the institute case studies. If you have done GFRS from us, we have all done each and every case study, close to 35 to 40 case studies, including mock test papers, exam papers, etc. Do all of them and you will be good to go. Okay, wish you all the very best. Goodbye, good luck.